Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Diakat Zaman. Ahla wa sahlan. Welcome to this video. This is a series on Sarf, understanding Sarf. So if you guys have been watching this series and you guys have been benefiting from, hit the like button, subscribe button, share it with your friends, your contacts, and let me know in the comments how this series has benefited you. Maybe you've studied some Sarf before, I don't know. Maybe it's the first time you're studying Sarf. Let me know how you guys are benefiting so I can use that information to be able to better the future videos that I'm making on Sarf. And I know there's been big gaps between each lesson. I'm going to try to make that a bit more consistent, inshallah, as I go through. Right, so we are talking about Sarf now. Sarf is all about verbs. So far, we've talked about how to construct a verb, past verbs, present verbs. And at the moment, we're talking about verbs that contain waw and yas, right? Waw and a ya. Now, this waw and ya can exist as the fa kalima, as the ayn kalima, as the lam kalima, right? Because we said Arabic verbs by default come in threes, right? So they come in threes, fa, ayn, lam. So you can have the fa as a waw or a ya, you call this mithal. If you have the waw and the ya as the ayn kalima, you call this ajwaf. And if you have the waw and the ya as the lam kalima, you call this naqis. So at the moment, we've actually started with ajwaf. And what we've done is we've gone through past verbs, right? So if you look at this list, I don't know, I'm thinking, shall I try to upload these so that you guys can download these images of these? Put in the comments if you guys think I should do that. So we worked out that the past, basically, if you've got ajwaf wawi, we've actually started with ajwaf wawi, right? So if I was to actually write that down, I think maybe that might help a lot of people. So ajwaf is broken down into, should do according to colors. So you got the wawi and you've got the ya'i, right? And then the wawi, there's three types of them, of the wawis. All right, so you got wawi which is has a dhamma on there. Yeah, you got a wawi which has a fatha, and you got a wawi which has kasra, right? And this is basically what that is. Tala is from tawula, qala is from qawala, and khafa is from khawifa. Yeah, so these three basically make up all of these. So you got, let's just put this in here then. So you got what was it again? Tawula, wasn't it? Yeah, tawula. So tala, let's put tala, and this one is qala, and this one is khafa. Okay, so these are the three that we've done so far. We are going to be moving on to ya'i, inshallah. We'll probably start that maybe in a few weeks' time. But at the moment, we're doing this, and today we're going to be looking at the present verbs for these. Right, so the present verbs we are going to be looking at today. So let's crack on then. Okay, now we've got basically this far now, right? And we don't want to break the momentum. We want to carry on. We want to continue. So what I'm going to do is first of all, before I actually start, I'm going to try to go through these. So this was I set for you guys last time. See if you guys can work this out. So ju'tum, right, is from ja'a yaju'u. So originally ju'tum would have been jim. You got jim there. That's jim. You got the ain, right, and you got the plus tum. Okay. Now, what's missing over here is actually the waw. Yeah. So originally it would have been jawa'tum. Yeah. Like the nasartum, right? Jawa'tum. But like we said, changes have taken place. We've got rid of the waw, right? Waw's gone. And we've transformed the fatha into a dhamma, and it's become ju'tum. Right, so two changes have taken place over there. Ramat, this actually is originally Ramat is Ra wa ma. Rama. Yarumu. Rawama. Okay, that's what it originally is. Rawama. So Ramat originally would have actually been Ra and then Meme and plus at. Right, so what's missing over here, or what's been transformed over here, is the waw. The waw, Ra wa mat. That's what it would have been originally. Ra wa mat. So what are the changes that have taken place over here? Well, you've got a waw in the middle, and the rule is that you can't have a waw in the middle, so you transform it into an alif. So this transforms into an alif, and that's it basically. So ra mat, ra mat. Okay, and the next one is raqu. Raqu again is from ra wa qa. Yeah, ra wa qa. So rawaqa. So originally, again, this is going to be similar to ramat, right? So ra and qaf plus the waw. So this actually is supposed to be rawaqu. Rawaqu. Again, waws occurred in the middle, and as we know, whenever a waw comes in the middle of a verb, you have to transform it into an alif. So raqu. Raqu. Okay, hultunna. Hultunna. Right, so what is hultunna? Hultunna originally was ha wa la. Hawala. Yeah. So several changes have taken place, similar to ju'tum over here, right? So ha is there, okay. You got the lam, and then you got the tunna at the end, right? So what's missing over here? You got the waw missing over here. Waw missing. So originally it would have been hawal tunna, right? That's what it would have been originally. But as you know, waws come in the middle. What do? We change that with alif. So haltum, and because there's two sakins there, we can't have the alif. The alif is removed, and we replace the fatha with dhamma to show that. So hul tunna, and the final one, last one, right? This is originally the wa qa. Okay, so you got the waqa over there. So how does this become dhuqti? So originally it would have been the, and then you got the qaf, and then you got plus t. Okay, and the waw is in the middle. The waq. The waqti. Again, waw has occurred in the middle, so what do? We get rid of it. We'll change it to alif rather. Alif. And then because we can't have two sakins together, we've got to get rid of the alif. And we replace the fatha with dhuqti. Dhuqti. Right? So ju'tum is when you're saying it to a whole group of men. You're saying all of you were hungry. Ramat, you're saying to regarding a woman that she intended. Raqu, it means they all were beautiful or nice. Hultunna is talking to women. You're saying all of you came in the way. And dhuqti, talking to one woman, you tasted. Right, so that is basically what we have when we are talking about when we're talking about these practicing. And like I said, you practice as much as you can, because practice definitely will make perfect, inshallah. Sorry about my cough. Still recovering from my illness. Inshallah, I'll get better with your du'as. Right, so now we want to look at present verbs now for the Ajwaf wawi. So this is Ajwaf wawi. Ajwaf waw. Yeah. Wow. Wawi. Okay, so anyway. So how do we deal with Ajwaf wawis now? How are we going to deal with this? So in reality, the Ajwaf wawi, you only have two types of verb for this. right? So you only have two types of verb. The first type of verb is the verbs which have a dhamma as the ain kalima. Yeah. So the ain kalima is dhamma, and the second type is where you have the ain kalima being a fatha. We do not have in the Arabic language a present verb ajwaf wawi with a kasra as the ain kalima. Right? You just don't have that. So something like, what kind of word can we have? Like daraba yadribu. So you don't have the equivalent of yadribu in the ajwaf wawi. You don't have that. You have it in ajwaf ya'i, but not in ajwaf wawi. Okay? So what we are going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking at yaqulu. Alright, so yaqulu. Let me just put that over here. Yaqulu, or rather put the original, which is yaqulu. Yaqulu. Right, so that's the original. And we're going to also be looking at yakhwafu. This is the original form. This is not the end result. Yakhwafu. Okay, notice you have the ain kalima is dhamma and is a fatha over there. So how do you make from these the verb? So if I was to draw or write the whole list of these verbs, so yaqulu, yaqulani, yaquluna, taqulu, taqulani, yaqulna. So remember, I'm doing this in the original form. This is not in the end result. Taqulu, taqulani, taquluna, taqulina, taqulani, taqulna, aqulu, naqulu. Okay, this is the original form. Now, if I put the vowels onto this, so yaqulani, yaquluna, taqulu, fatha, taqulani. Okay, this will be yaqulna. So yaqulna, and then taqulu, taqulani, taquluna, taqulina, taqulani, taqulna, and aqulu, naqulu. Right, so that's basically what you have. And notice in all of these, look at the sequence. There is you have the dhamma over there. Now, when we are gonna change this, right? So what we have to basically remember here is that there's two main rules that govern this over here. Okay, so there's two main rules that you're going to have governing here. You do not change the waw into alif over here. So here we don't do the rule of qala. Qawala, we do not do this rule of qawala. And when we come to this one over here, يقولنا and تقولنا, we're going to make some extra changes there. So what basically happens over here is this. The rule is this, that if you have a wow, so let's just point this over here. If you have a wow and before the wow is a sukoon, then you transfer the vowel. Transfer the vowel. So over here what's going to happen is we are simply going to shift this dhamma onto the qaf and the sukoon onto the vowel. Right? So when we write this, it's going to come out as this. So you got, that's going to stay the same, but the difference is going to be over here, you're going to say yaqulu rather than yaqulu, you're going to say yaqulu. So that's the change that takes place. The dhamma is going to be carried onto the previous letter with the sukoon, and that's why we said the past verb rule doesn't apply here, because the past verb rule does not have sukoon before it. Okay, and this is what we're going to apply to all of these now. So instead of me writing all of these, I'm sure you guys can simply just figure out how to just switch the dhamma. Yaqulu, yaqulani, yaquluna, taqulu, taqulani. Now this one over here is one which requires slight change. So yaqulna, right? So what's going to happen over here is we're going to do as we said before, right? So yaqulna, right? So you got the ya there, you got the fatha there, yaqulna, and you got a sukoon there. Right? Now, if you switch over the vowels on here, what you're going to get is yaqulna. Right? So notice what's happened. You've got over here a problem. What's that problem? Two sakins have joined together. And whenever two sakins join together, what do? The weaker of the two, we have to remove them. So unfortunately, we have to remove the waw. And you're left with yaqulna. Yaqulna. So here is where you have the rule of two sakin next to each other. I'm just going to write that. Two sakin next to each other, and you guys should know what that rule basically refers to. And the same applies over here to this one over here. So you've got taqwulna, which again, if we apply the same principles to, so you put the dhamma on the qaf, sukoon on the waw. Problem is you got two sukoons that are joined together, so you have to get rid of one of them, and so you got taqulna, right? Taqulna. So these are the two rules that you need to remember when you're dealing with these, the ones with the dhamma on there. Okay, so right, what I'll do is I'll stop there, and this one I'll let you guys figure out how to do this. Now this is a bit different. This is a bit different from this one, right? Because this one we actually are going to change the vowel. So not only is the vowel going to switch over, but when the vowel switches over, the rule for the past is going to apply to this, right? So which is, if you have a vowel, well actually let me just show you guys, right? So this is actually going to become, and then you can do it for next week, and then next week we can go through them properly. So this is going to become yakh or fu, okay? Now, so what happens over here is the ya stays the same, the fa stays the same, or dhamma, but this rule applies over here, right? So there's going to be a switch. So yakhwafu is going to become yakhawfu, yakhawfu. Now, here we have another rule over here. So we've got this rule applies there, plus we've got a different rule, which is whenever you have a waw sakin and before it you have a fatha, you replace the waw sakin with an alif. Okay, so when you replace the waw sakin with an alif, what's going to happen? You are going to get, let's do over here, you're going to get ya, and let me just do it with this. You're going to get yakhafu. Okay, so yakhafu. So you see what's happened? The waw has been changed into the alif. Right? Why? Because of the fatha that comes before it. So next week, inshallah, we'll look into that a bit more. What we can do now is just a little bit of practice in the Quran, and you can try yourselves with trying to understand how to apply the rules over here. So if we go through, we can do just a general sort of like application in the Quran, just to kind of like get some sort of idea of how we're supposed to apply these rules. So okay, so if you look over here, you got qala, right? So qala, this is obviously a word which is ajwaf. Originally it was qawala, and you guys should know how qawala became qala. Waw, if it occurs in the ayn, in the past verb, you transfer it to an alif. You convert it to an alif. Okay, so you've got over there. Okay, qala basurtu. So this is a normal sahih verb, we call this. That doesn't contain any huruf illas, right? So basurtu, I perceived. And over here, qabadtu, this is also qabadha yaqbidu. This is also a past verb. It's a sahih. It's got no sort of letters which are of illa, right? So you got qabadtu over here. All right, so nahnu a'lamu over here. This is a present verb, so we've done present verbs. A'lamu, right? So a'lamu. Now over here, naqussu is a bit different. Naqussu is actually, you've got two sads there. This is called muda'af, right? Double letters. So that's going to be something that we are going to be covering later on, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, anat til wujuh. Anat al wujuh. Anat, ignore the waw. This originally was na wa or ana ya. So anatil wujuh. So here this is also has a harf illa which is missing. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ حَمَلَ ظُلْمًا. خَابَ. Yeah, so خَابَ يَخِيبُ. Right, so this is what we call a ya, ajwaf ya'i. Yeah, ajwaf ya'i, where there's something missing over here. فَلَا يَخَافُ. So we did this today. يَخَافُ originally was يَخْوَفُ. And you know how the alif has come about now. You know how the alif has come about. And that's it basically. So have a go at this yourselves. Try to go through the Quran. Try to select a surah and systematically go through it. And you'll see how this applies. Okay, actually over here. أَلَّا تَجُوعَ. تَجُوعَ. جَاعَ يَجُوعُ. جَاعَ يَجُوعُ. So this is like قَالَ يَقُولُ. Right, so the same rule applies over here. Originally it was تَجْوَعُ. تَجْوُعُ rather. تَجْوُعُ. But because there's a waw with a sukoon before it, you have to transfer the vowel to the letter before. Right, so it becomes taju'u. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. So inshallah, next week we're going to be covering ajwaf wawi, and then we are going to be starting ajwaf yai. Right, ajwaf yai. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, guys, thank you very much for supporting this channel, especially patrons. You guys are wonderful, beautiful people. May Allah bless all of you guys. If you guys want to support my channel, if you guys want to help me, produce this kind of work and do it more consistently, then check out my Patreon link. It's in the bottom in the description. Become a monthly Patreon subscriber, and you get some privileges as well. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope to see all of you guys. If you guys are interested, please leave us feedback, get in contact with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair, guys, for all of your support. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to produce the videos that I've put up on my YouTube channel. And there is so much more that I really want to do. And without the support of you guys who are patrons, generously supporting this channel, I've been able to get myself a camera, which, as you guys can see, the quality of this camera, mic system, software. I've been able to hire an editor. So what do I want to do? I want to make lots and lots and lots of more videos for beginners, for intermediate, advanced, in the subjects like Arabic and fiqh and hadith and tafsir and aqidah and all those other things as well. And for this to happen, again, this channel needs support. So if you guys want to become patrons and support this channel, then check out the link below. Also, if you do become patrons, you'll have access to videos that I don't put up on my normal YouTube channel. So check that out, inshallah. And there's most other perks as well that you guys can benefit from. And if you want to access this channel through social media, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, Facebook page, and other things as well that you can visit. So jazakumullah khair again, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.